Welcome to Intellipaat's live webinar. Our topic for today is Python. Our trainer, Ms. Shreya, is with us today. So today we'll be looking at how Python is as a career, jobs in Python, salaries in Python, and how Python has become a very popular language in the current tech era. So Ms. Shreya here with us is having around 7 years of experience in data science, and she has worked with multinational companies earlier. So Ms. Shreya, over to you, ma'am. Please take it ahead from here.
Thank you. This is Shreya. So I hope everyone are doing great. So, okay. So let me just I don't think you would be needing an extra introduction about me as, the Intellipaat team has already done it. So we'll just begin right from the top. So first we would have to consider, why data science, right? So we'll have an overview about the data science in the first place, like what is data science, how to become a data scientist. So what are the, skills that are required, the major job description, and let's say if you're gonna choose your career as data scientist, right? So to become one, so what would be your roles and responsibilities, how the career path would be, how about the salary, all these things. So we'll be discussing in detail. Thank you so much. So now let's just take it from the top. So firstly, as I mentioned earlier, so we would be discussing, so what exactly is data science, right? So to begin with, the demand for data scientists has increased significantly over the years as more and more businesses are finding value in utilizing the voluminous amounts of structured, unstructured, okay, and also the semi-structured data generated by the enterprises. Okay, so there was a study conducted in 2017, right? So it showed that a digital universe had accommodated around 2.75 zettabytes of data. So it is predicted that this will grow to 175 zettabytes, a ridiculously colossal amount in the global atmosphere by the year 2025. So this is just according to some survey. So that means, so it shouldn't even come as a surprise with the kind of online activity that exists today. So the data science domain, it deals with all giant data sets, finding ways to make them useful and integrating them into real world application. So digital data is considered as the oil of the 21st century with its multitude of business, research, and daily life benefits. So everything from your social media posts to your, let's say, the most recent Google search is essential for data scientists in one way or the other at the end of the day. So now, why exactly am I explaining this is because, the process of shifting through the wide gamut of data is a task that data scientists are specifically trained for. So data scientists are the ones who are skilled in delivering critical insights, which in turn enable your better decision making. So most companies today boast of using some form of data science. That is, but the truth is that it is difficult to put everything in a box and to specifically define it. So if I just want to start from what does a data scientist do? So firstly, it would go like automation and decision making. It'd be talking about the domains like medical treatments, credit card approvals, all these things. Classifications, let's say if I'm talking about, um, where let's talk about the mail. So everything today, like whenever there is certain, what I can say, official announcement or something, so everything would be done via mails, right? So it might be important emails like spam promotions. If I want to classify the mail into an important one or a spam or maybe the promotions one, etc., so all these things include data science. And it could be like a lot, what I would say, it's very common nowadays that these classifications are gaining more and more popularity. And then, so if you just talk about the third application, the most common one, recommendation engines, right? So you guys, I think you would have also come across like the applications like Spotify, Netflix. Let's say you would watch a certain movie on Netflix. So the next day when you go back to Netflix, like after finish watching the movie, so when you just open Netflix, so you would be able to see, you know, recommendations based on your previous watch, right? Whatever the movie that you have watched the previous night, based on it, you know, Netflix will be recommending a lot of movies or series or whatever. And the same kind of things happen in Spotify as well. Let's say you would listen to one of the melodious song, okay, or maybe a pop song or something on Spotify. So soon after the song ended, right, so you have searched for a specific song and you have listened to it. Soon after the song ends, so the playlist won't stop there, right? So it would proceed ahead where the same kind of, the similar songs in the same genre would be recommended. And how exactly is this happening actually? So this is because of a background called as recommendation engine. So that means based on the learned preferences about your taste, let's say it might be music or movies or even like anything. So if you just perform online, so based on your preferences, so you would be recommended a similar product. So that is about your recommendation engine. And so it again, like I told you, so data science is also used in such cases. And then if I'm talking about forecasting, like forecasting is something, let's take a sales data. Okay. So you can take certain company like XYZ. So you have, let's say it is selling some product, maybe a shampoo or something. So now, in the previous, let's say from the past 10 years, so the company is in the hold. So now, what exactly are we looking into is, so in the recent 5 years, right? So a company is growing. It's not growing enormously or something, but there is certain growth that is happening. Okay. So that means the trend would be upwards in such case. Now, let's say you want to predict the future of the company. So let's consider that you are planning to invest in the company's stocks. Okay. So in order to invest your money into the stocks of that specific company, so you should be knowing, right? So how the growth is happening with respect to the company and how is it going to be in the future 5 years, in the next 5 years, what is going to happen with the specific stocks, so that you have to know. So in order to do such predictions, right, based on your previous data, so let's say you're going to go ahead and predict the future and the data you're going to forecast. And for that, again, is called as forecasting. It might be like a demand in certain supplies or products, or maybe customer retention. It might be revenue or projection of a sales data. All these things, like, one or the other way, they include data science, right? So it might be again pattern recognition, anomaly detection, segmentations, ranking, optimization, all these things, they include data science one or the other way. Okay, guys. So that's about like a quick overview. So now if I just specifically talk about data science with Python, okay, see the agenda is clear. So we will be like, I'll just give you an introduction to Python. So we are not going to discuss again like all these concepts of Python in detail, right? So I'll just give you guys an overview about what is Python for data science. Okay. And then so we shall discuss about the basic educational requirements for becoming a data scientist, or what are the common skills that are required. And then so how would be the job description for a data scientist, and then also we can discuss about the salary and stuff. As I was mentioning here, right, let's talk about data scientist skills. Or firstly, we'll begin with educational requirements before I proceed ahead with the skills. So data scientists will be expected to have a bachelor's degree, basically, okay. Higher level or advanced degrees may not be strictly mandatory, I would say, to land any job as a data scientist. But if you do have any such qualifications, that would simply be another additional feather to your crown. Okay, so most employers, they look for relevant skill sets in the specific field. Now, any applicant with these relevant, less relevant degrees can also spruce up their portfolio with the advanced skills and experience which is relevant in the data science project. So that means, what exactly am I saying is, so when you are looking for a job where the requirements are to be a data scientist, so it's not necessary for you to have a certain level of, apart from bachelor's degree, nothing else would be actually or a mandatory requirement, because mostly, like I told you, the employers would be looking for the skills but not the actual education level. So the world that we are living in today is all like about skills, so it is all skill oriented now. So no one's like really worried about your degree. So it's just what I would say, a requirement. They're expected to have a bachelor's degree, but it's not the mandatory thing, we would say, because it goes on the skills. So the educational requirements may typically include any kind of a degree in computer science or mathematics, statistics, or data science. A number of certification opportunities are also available for data science aspirants, such as a certified analytics professional or a Microsoft MCSE data management and analytics. And also like that, like even from Dell also we have certain certifications for EMC, DECA data science. So all these are the certifications that you guys can take in. So if at all, if you're not looking for a long term program in data science, but still would want to have the relevant skills, so you can consider that. Now, so coming to the actual or a very important part, so that is skills. So I've been talking about skills a lot. So now what exactly are the skills that are required for one to become a data scientist? So I could just divide them into like four different or four fundamental skills. That is, the first one would be mathematics. So when I say mathematics, we are not talking about the calculus, integration, differentiation. No, not that mathematics, the basic one, that too. So statistics and probability. Okay, these are like, when I'm talking about mathematics, when I say mathematical skills are required for data scientists, so what exactly I'll mean is statistics and probability. Okay, and then so coming to the next part, so I could consider computer science. Computer science in the sense, so maybe from an engineering background or software architecture, and having some knowledge about data architecture, all these things would be an add-on. Okay, business or the domain, like the other skill, I would say business or something related to the business domain. If you are well versed with, that would also be an additional what I can say skill. And finally, the communication. So it might be verbal communication or non-verbal communication. So you can consider it anyways, but that would be really, really a relevant skill, which is also like required. These are like fundamental skills that we can consider. Okay, and again, there is no priority or a specific order for these skills to be considering. But yeah, data scientists are required to be familiar with a number of big data tools and platforms. Like it might be, I mean, it's just an additional thing I'm talking about. So when I say big data tools, so it's really good if you know about Hadoop, MapReduce, Apache, or Pig, or even like Spark, Hive, all these things. So if you know any of the big data tools, so that would be really great. So also, like I mentioned, so programming languages. So programming languages, if we are talking about, so Python, Scala, SQL, Perl, and also for especially performing statistical computing, so you can have R. Python for data science and R for data science. These are two basic or very, very important programming languages that are gaining, popularity every day, right? And so if you just want to dig a little bit deeper, so I would say machine learning, like data mining, machine learning, deep learning, and also to some extent artificial intelligence would be, and it's not a prerequisite or something. So if you have any idea about it, or like as summed up together, this would be a great combination for like one to become a great data scientist. Okay, so that was about your skills, guys. And talking about data scientist job description, so I can say all phases of data science life cycle can be included. So when we are talking about data science life cycle, starting from gathering the data, that is putting or collecting the data, so you can just proceed ahead with various other steps, or let's say phases. Like once so you are considering the data, you would perform some analysis on the data and draw some inferences about the data, and then whatever the data you have collected together, so you would create a model on it, that is various machine learning models, and then so you would implement or deploy that specific model for a given cause. Okay, so all the phases of data science life cycle. So if you consider, this would be a expected skill, right? And after talking about that, like if you know about data warehouse structures, or working with a wide variety of data sources or databases, that would also be a great advantage. And so apart from this, visualization tools, right? So such as Tableau and Power BI, okay, so would also be a great help to you, because once you analyze the data, so in order to you know draw inferences from the analyzed data, it is really good to have a visualized structure, or when you're visualizing your data. Okay, so it in a report format, so let's say using either any one of the tools like Tableau or Power BI. So it would be great for the analysis. So data analytics, right? So in that case, so if you know any one of these tools, so again, it would be an added golden feather to your crown, I would say. See, various machine learning techniques would be helpful for you in order to deal with, various type of real-time problems, where you would create a model in order to tackle the problem. Let's say, for example, you're trying to predict some kind of heart disease. Okay, so your model, what it is supposed to do, whatever the data I'm going to feed, let's say about some patient, so it has to take up all these records, and then the model has to predict whether this person has the chances of being affected by heart attack or not, or some other kind of heart disease, right? So now data science, in the sense, so it includes all these things, right from analysis of the data, like data collection, till model deployment. So all these would be the part of your data science life cycle. Okay, so first you analyzed your data, you drew some inferences, you understood the data, and then you created a model using machine learning. So statistics again for data analysis. So in order to explore and analyze the data, so it'd be using statistics. So data warehouse again. So why would you require data warehouse? Like in order to store all the data that you are working with. So there has to be some, and it would be acting as like a storage container. And then talking about AI, so machine learning is like, you would be, giving some data to your model, and based on the data, so again, it would give you some output. That's how machine learning works. So AI is like, you're partly automating it. The same model that you have created. So instead of depending or making it dependent on certain factors, let's say you automate it, where you would be getting the automated results. So then I would, relate it with artificial intelligence. That is, so instead of you giving, let's say, some orders to your model, so now model would be able to think on its own, and then it would be able to take decisions as well, right? So that would be like mostly what happening in case of your artificial intelligence. So why do we need programming languages in this case? Is because again, so it might be machine learning, it might be AI or anything else. So you would be needing one or the other type of programming language. Okay. So that is why we would be needing programming languages. So Python are, or like, other programming languages most commonly used are Python and R. So now if I just want to brief you about Python. So Python is a popular computer programming language that is used to create software, websites, and it is also used to automate the process and analyze the data. And also I would consider Python as a general purpose language. So that means, so it can be used to make various types of applications, and it's not tailored for any particular issues. That means, see, when I say Python can be used for, building a website, so it's not just stick to that, right? So it can be used for various other purposes as well. So that is the reason why we have added general purpose language. So you can build various machine learning models using Python. You can create websites. So you can, perform application development. So everywhere. So you can use Python programming language one or the other way. So hence it is called as general purpose programming language. So the common things, like in starting with basics, see why exactly are we going through this variables concepts and all is because, so just if you guys are not from the technical domain, let's say, so you are from a different domain, like where you are not aware of programming at all, completely different domain, and you're planning to switch careers or something like that, in that case you guys need not to worry. So as you can see displayed on my screen, right from variables, that is like a very basic concept, so we would be discussing everything. Okay, like starting from variables, how to assign values to the variables. From this, what are the data types, different types of data, right? So these are like some very basic aspects in Python programming language or any programming language you could take. So everything would be discussed in detail. So that is the reason, why I am just displaying this PPT, to make you guys understand that it would be taught from the scratch. Okay, and you need not to worry if you are from a completely different domain, so it would be taken care eventually. Okay, so you will be taught from the basics and then till the advanced level whatever is required, so that no issues or there won't be any dependencies going forward. Okay, guys. So, like as you can see, conditional statements, types of conditional statements we would be discussing, and then again looping statements. So, what exactly are looping statements, right? So, if you just as an example, so we have two different types of loops. Like it might be for loop and then while loop. So, why am I using for loop? So, basically used to loop over a group of collection of data or something. See, if I just start explaining this in between, that won't make sense, because this is all part of basics and it would have to go in a let's say there has to be certain way it has to be thought, that is starting from variable, so you would have to go with a flow. That is the flow that we need to follow. So I'm just giving you guys an overview that what are the things we are going to discuss and all, right? So when once you start with your respective course, again, like the different types of data like lists, tuples, all these things are included here. So I do not want you guys to be like, burdened with all the topics as of now. So let's just mainly focus on the career path, shall we? Because we are all gathered here for a reason. So in order to understand the importance of, Python for data science with respect to our career paths. That is how Python for data science or as a whole data science would be helping me in order to excel in my career, right? So how it can shape my entire future. That's what I would be worried about. So as I already mentioned earlier, so many data scientists they begin their careers first as data analysts, and then they can enter the field of data science, maybe via job changes or even internal promotion as well. So what does a data analyst do? So that is firstly you would have to study and the accuracy and effectiveness of the data sources that you're actually gathering, and you would have to mine and analyze the data and also enable the optimization of how the product is developed, and then like let's say business strategies, marketing techniques, everything. So also you can just discuss about basic data models and algorithms. So all these things will be a part of your data analyst. Okay, and after that, so you would move on to a post called as data scientist, so where you would have to have some management skills that can go on to take up a director level and also even a executive level roles. Okay, so as a beginner, so what exactly are you supposed to do is you can start building a simple portfolio of interesting data science projects. So you have taken up and showcase them on various platforms like GitHub or Kaggle, all these things. The means, so firstly, what exactly am I telling here is, so we would be like from Intellipaat, whatever the courses that we would be providing will have a bunch of real-time projects, so which you can like showcase in your own portfolios, which would also help you in landing on your dream job. So not only you will be creating a personal brand from the scratch, but it will also ensure your future growth in the career path. Okay. And now, so there are like various other aspects that we need to discuss. So if I want to just give you an outlook of data science career, according to belongs talent supply index, the demand for data science professions in all industries has been increased by 417% over the past years, right? And also, if we are talking with respect to India alone, so Analytics India magazine, so it predicts that by 2025, India's demand for data science professionals will grow sevenfold in the next 7 years, reaching around $20 billion. And you know as per your McKinsey, artificial intelligence is also has a potential to generate a revenue of around like 1.4 to 2.6 trillion in sales and marketing worldwide. So that means, since all these things, why am I mentioning about artificial intelligence in the sense, since data science and AI, so they go hand in hand. That means data science is like a basics where you would start, and then you would go ahead with like machine learning, then deep learning, and then comes the AI, right? So it's like a phase, like it will be a life cycle. So since we are just moving accordingly, so all you can see is growth. Okay, this is just like a tip of an iceberg, I would say, because in the next few years, the role of a full stack data scientist will change. It can reform and also innovate the entire world. So now let's talk about some money, shall we? You know, data scientist salary, I mean. So since data scientists collaborate with like a lot of people from different settings or domains, so most of their work, however, involves dealing with the data. It might be finding the data, analyzing the information, or writing programs to deploy the models, all these things. So therefore, salary of a data scientist depends on several factors, so including his or her industry experience, the job function, the skills, location, and so on. So, a general breakdown of a salary of data scientists. So, this is from United States of America. So that is this is USA's statistics that we have pulled down. So entry level data scientist salary so is in 95,000 US dollars. That would be entry level data scientist salary we are talking about. Okay, this is just a general breakdown. Let's say you're a junior data scientist, then your salary would be around 180,000 US dollars. Okay, 180,000 US dollars. And if you are a senior data scientist, then the range is from 165,000 to 250,000 US dollars. That would be like really great money. Yes, guys. So this is like an overview that I could give you guys. And apart from this, so now if I just want to list out, you know, the tools. Okay, Shreya, you just gave us a lot of overview about the entire thing, like starting from job description, salary, and job roles, all these things. But now just tell us what are the major tools or like packages specifically that I would have to work with, right? So firstly, guys, I would say this as like a box where I would put all the required tools. So firstly, starting with programming languages. So you should have you know a complete hold on any one of the programming languages. That is, it might be Python, R, SQL, Java, Scala, or Julia. So anything you can take. But since Python and R are reigning as of now, so you don't need have to be an expert in all of the above. So I think learning Python or R, either of them, along with that a little bit idea about SQL as a whole, is strongly recommended. So that's about your programming languages. So you choose between Python or R, and along with that SQL would be a great catch. So now, talking about like Python, if I just dig deeper into Python, so the libraries that mostly would be coming across would be NumPy for numerical operations, Matplotlib, so it is for visualizations, right? manipulation, for data manipulation, I can use a library called as pandas. It's not an animal, so it stands for panel data. So used for data manipulation in Python. And some of the, machine learning packages like scikit-learn, TensorFlow, PyTorch, all these would be included. So along with this, so you should be needing any of the big data tools, might be Hadoop, Kafka, Spark, Pig, Hive, etc. Presto, we have a lot of them. So most commonly used one would be, Hadoop or Spark. And since Python and Spark go hand in hand, so we do have a separate libraries for PySpark and their implementation. So that would be a great match. Okay. And then, so for dealing with your databases, like relational database management systems, so SQL, that is SQL Server or MS SQL, would be a great option. So along with that, let's say you want to, uh, build a bridge between data science and cloud computing, let's say. So let's say if you, whatever the model you have created, you would want to deploy it on a cloud platform. So in such cases, so what exactly is happening? Basically, you are, so as I was talking about the integration of cloud platform with data science, so you can take up any of the cloud-based services like AWS or GCP and even Microsoft Azure as well. And why are we integrating this is just because I could deploy the model that I've created from machine learning or AI on these platforms, and then I could be able to see the output and how the entire model is working, various testing and all I can perform. And let's say you also want to include DevOps or data ops deployment. So you can go with, tools like Kubernetes, Docker, or even like Terraform also. Okay, guys. So as a whole, if I just have to conclude, right, data scientist jobs are extremely in a high demand, and the domain can have massive impact on any business in many different aspects depending on the business's goal. Okay. So I think I have covered almost all of the aspects regarding data science. So okay,
Thank you very much, Shreya. It was a great session. So I hope the learners enjoyed it. We would definitely want to have a session with you again on a deeper topic soon. So, guys, we have Sandesh here, who is a learning
thank you so
manager
much.
at Intellipaat. Yeah, thank you very much, Shreya. We have Sandesh here, guys, who is a senior learning manager at Intellipaat. He's here to share some information with you guys. So, over to you, Mr. Sandesh.
Hi guys, good evening. Sandesh here. I'm the learning consultant here. Guys, as you know, Intellipaat is a platform which is mainly into professional training. Okay, so we started our organization in the year 2011, where we started the training with big data Hadoop concepts. Then later we expanded and we had many programs which are into data science, business intelligence, cloud-based technologies, and we have been collaborated with many of the universities for the same. So you can consider Python as the basic understanding of coding. Okay, that is very much required for you. And then I would also add SQL over there. Okay, where that is a database. So you need to learn Python, SQL, and a data visualization tool, and a bit of machine learning. So this is more than sufficient for you to enter the finance background, and you can also focus on fintech domain, which is trending in the industry as of now. So as we learn from the trainer itself, how important the data science domain is in the industry as of now. So we have different sources for the data, and we get different sources for the data, and you're just going to analyze how exactly this data can be turned out into a meaningful information, which you can do the analysis by using certain analytical tools. Okay, and then you're going to generate a report out of the data, what kind of analysis what you have done. So you have very good future as in the field of data science domain. Okay, so if I talk about credit and risk department, so you can also explore the risk management, and many of the tools and technologies which you were using previously have been shifting towards the other domains, that is into Python, SQL, and many other analytical tools. So it is very much important for you to upskill at this particular time now. And you have a lot of job opportunities, let it be a product based company, let it be a startup, or even a MNC company, and even with the government sector, because of the government policies what they have been bringing into the revolution. So you have very good job opportunities in the upcoming 10 to 12 years. So this is going to be in the industry for the next upcoming 10 to 12 years, the particular data science domain itself. So as you already learned a bit about Python, okay, so let me reiterate on that. So Python is a very powerful language, as you know. Okay, so it can be applicable in different use cases, and this is one of the easiest programming language which anyone can learn. We get a lot of learners who ask the questions like, when a person who is coming from a non-technical background can learn Python. Definitely, it is possible. Okay, even if you see in the education system of India as of now, even a school student who is learning 6th standard or 7th standard student is learning Python. So that is the level of easiness. Okay, so if I talk about the applications, you have a lot of applications in the industry. Let it be pharmaceutical, fintech, let it be your any of the domain. So let me just show you our one of the web page. So yeah, guys, this is our web page. Okay, so you can explore different programs here. As you can see, we have the executive MTech program, we have certification based program, we have MSc in data science programs. So this is a very good program which you can look into. Okay, the program name is Advanced Certification in Data Science and AI, which is in collaboration with CCIT Madras. Okay, so yeah, we are going to help you with 100% live sessions for the program. Okay, and we're also going to help you with the practical exposure. Okay, so in the industry, what exactly the requirement is for the technical aspects, you need to have a very good amount of practical experience and also a bit of experience towards these specific domains. Okay, and you can also see we are also going to help you with certain career services. So definitely we are going to help you with placements. We get a lot of candidates who are looking only for the placements, and they need to also understand the data science for their knowledge purpose. So they come to us and they explore the programs, what and all programs what we have, and they'll be looking forward to build their career in the field of data science. So yeah, this is the program where you can see many of the technical aspects have been covered in a single program. Let it be Python, data science, analysis, machine learning, AI. So almost everything is covered in the program. And we have our mentors and also our faculties of CCIT Madras are going to conduct some of the guest lectures are going to be covered with them. Okay. So definitely we'll be also helping you with certain doubt clearing sessions. Okay. So if you have a language barrier, definitely we'll be helping you on that part where we can help you with certain doubt clearing sessions that can be provided in Hindi. So since you already have a domain experience in the finance background, so I suggest you to also, acquire a bit of technical skills. So that can land up your job in the fintech industry. So Intellipaat is known for providing 100% live sessions. So majority of the programs, whatever you see, it will be completely live sessions, which would be completely interactive sessions. More upon the practical exposure. So we'll be helping you with industry projects, 50 plus industry projects and case studies. Okay, this is completely the practical experience, and you will be also provided with multiple case studies. Okay, and when I talk about the specific domain, okay, we have certain capstone projects where that is a mega project. Okay, where we cover certain domains into banking and financial industry, healthcare sector, telecommunication, e-commerce, and entertainment. So these are the key industries what we are going to focus upon, since the growth in the industry is there in this particular 5 domains. And when I talk about the, how exactly we can clear your doubts and concerns, so we have our complete support team would be available for you. 24/7 support will be provided from our end. So you have to just give us a call, or you have to just drop an email, or you have to just try to communicate whatever your doubts are or concerns are with respect to the program, projects, or any doubts. So we'll be helping you with certain doubt clearing sessions. Okay, that would be one-on-one doubt clearing sessions for you. Intellipaat is known for the support, actually. Yeah. So as you can see, the trending technologies in the industries are data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and a bit of cloud technologies, and obviously big data. So these are the things if you're looking forward to, grow up your trajectory in your career, and if you're looking forward to upskill. So these are the key areas or key technicalities you have to focus upon. Thanks a lot for your time, guys.